Okay, hi there, everyone. Welcome to Bretton's Monday market review, market outlook. A week ahead, we'll be talking about what to expect as of the within the 24 hours, as well as going through fundamentals as well for the week ahead. So we are expecting, as of yesterday's session on Sunday, I've done some research as well. We've talked a little bit about oil and gold in particular, and we have actually looked into some possible push of gold for the short term to the upside. So we want to take a look at gold. We want to take a look at all the other pairs as well. But just before that, we want to just go through very briefly on some market news. I have selected some websites and some news related sites that would actually be giving me some hints straight away, as opposed to reading it through too much, or to analyze it too far too soon. So what we usually do is just to look into some headlines that has actually sort of come up very recently, maybe the last couple of hours or so. So today is the 12th of July. And as we can see here, usually in IG, this Daily FX website that is connected to IG markets as well, basically has got this area here that is the most recent, this whole area here. But then this one here is a highlight news. Now, at the moment, you see it says crude oil prices eyes $75 as Delta variant threatens growth outlook. Now, yesterday we talked about oil possible to go up to about $80, and then we have got some areas that we have highlighted as well, especially for UK oil. I think we have been a little bit clearer with areas that you can take profit. With regards to oil prices, WTI, we've mentioned yesterday that we need a little bit more time today to look at how it sort of pans out in terms of the trend, in terms of what the fundamentals are saying. So here it has already sort of confirmed that there are some possibilities of a rise in oil, mainly because of the Delta variant. It says here $75. So we know that from here until $75, we want to evaluate and look into the charts in a bit to make sure that we are on the same path as the market is moving at this moment of time. So apart from that, they still talk about gold right here as well. So gold prices retreat as yields arise. So that basically means that it has gone into a bit of a correction at the moment. We want to confirm that with the chart, mainly because of US yields going up, and then the inflation rate as well going up because of Powell's speech. Focusing on Powell's speech today. So we want to look at the economic calendar as well. And then here it says, US dollar outlook, Delta COVID cases inducing risk aversion. So we can see that in all these headlines, whether they talk about oil, talk about USD, or talk about gold, they are talking about factors that has got to do with the Delta variant. So the Delta variant virus basically will be the main headline, and this is what is going to drive most of the instruments, most of the asset classes up or down. So this is where we know that we will have lots of volatility as well. So let's combine that volatility in terms of news that's got to do with Delta variant with the economic calendar as well. So let's see whether or not we have got a busy week ahead, and which currency may be impacted, which country as well. So here we have got Monday really looking very slow. I don't have any red bars, high volatility type news, but of course we do have some medium volatility, but it could also be high depending on how the news is going to be taking it. So this ECB's speech right here as well, I would presume is quite an important one that might move euro quite a bit, but not really very heavy for a Monday as usual. It's like a usual Monday where you've got not very high type volatility expected, because the docket, economic data docket, is not very packed. So Tuesday looks like we have got a very long list of data that are expected to come out. And yes, it might actually start the volatility of the market from Tuesday onwards, especially with euro, I would think, mainly because we've got the euro harmonized index right there, and that's for Germany because that's Germany's flag. So Germany is your number one economic superpower in the whole of Europe. So then that might impact the euro, most likely impacts the euro quite a bit, followed by US data. So we have lots of US data. US dollar would most probably be moving quite a lot, and that is more on the CPI for food and energy. So it's quite important, consumer price index for food and energy. And then we go through what I could actually see is that might actually be starting the volatility quite soon as well because of all this variant and news about the variant, Delta variant, all that might actually start to pick up as of today, US session or even the London Open. All these movements would start. Also because if we look into Wednesday as well, Wednesday would also be quite packed, and we have got Gbpnzd as well. We've got the rate decisions, quite important as well for New Zealand. And the thing is that it connects to Australia as well. It doesn't impact Australia per se as much as Australia impacts New Zealand, but it goes hand in hand, yeah, all the time. So the flow would actually be almost the same. It would actually be that. So we want to also look at Australia crosses, whether or not still impacted by what goes on in China, as well as we have mentioned yesterday. And we've got CPI again for GBP, and we are expecting quite a busy week that will actually start as of today, I think, I would presume, mainly. So let's just also go down a little bit here. I think I don't have the full. Okay, let me go back to, let's highlight this for the week ahead. This week. Just want to take a look at Thursdays and Wednesday just to be aware of what's going on for the whole week as well. So Thursday, really packed loads of red, high volatility or high impact news, especially for UK. So I think for GBP will start on Wednesday onwards as it has its BOE's Ramden speech as well. And Wednesday, July 14, right here, we've got all the Canadians right here as well. So let's go back and look at, I think we didn't look at the, I wasn't looking at the right one here. Let's go back to Wednesday and check it. Yes, we've got it here now complete. So Wednesday itself, very high impact. And then we have got more and more high impact news as well, especially with the federal chairman's Powell's speech or testimony right there. And then we've got Canada's one right here. So it's going to be a very busy week for selected countries and pairs in accordance to what we see here in the economic calendar. But Friday, Thursday onwards, I think Thursday is going to be really nice day to look at all the opportunities as well. We've got GBP right there, we've got CNY. So the Chinese data would actually be impacting Australia, of course, and we've got Australia data as well. So I would expect a lot of movements for Australia, but we want to monitor it from now and look at the trend that it might, because the trend would actually be fueled by all these data that's coming out. So we want to look at the trend from now on so that we know. So we need to look into Australia dollar, New Zealand dollar, euro, Canadian dollar, and the US. So this is where we can sort of trade better, find better and bigger opportunities, as well as the JPY right here. Okay, so it's mostly the major currencies right there, except for the CHF. So we've got nothing on the CHF so much. but we have got loads on all the other currencies that is categorized under the major currencies. Okay, so that's good. So let's get going right now in terms of chart. So we look into the chart right here, and okay, let's check the message again. Second. So yes, we'll look into gold, GBP crosses, especially against JPY, AUD, yes, USD as well. We'll take a look at these pairs, but as usual, I like to look at the big picture first, just to get a little bit of an idea. So I want to look at the top movers just very quickly, look at the heat map as well. Okay. And yeah, just looking at that, we've got loads of concentration on NZD pairs. As we can see, the one that offers, let me just refresh this a little bit, offers more, according to this table here, clarity in all time frame would actually be the NZD-JPY as well as NZD-CHF and the AUD-JPY. But most of the NZDs right here is on the sell, as you can see. So all the NZDs are on the sell at the moment, and we have got NZDs dominating this table quite a bit. We've got some GBP pairs as well and AUD pairs. Okay, so we know the concentration there on the NZDs, which is good. I will take a look at that as well, these pairs. And let's take a look at the currency map. Okay. Now here overall, it's looking like it wants to solidify the trend side of it, especially USD against CAD, AUD, and NZD seem to be strong, seem to be bullish, but not strongly bullish, just starting to be bullish. So the USD is looked at as picking up on all these pairs right here. Majority of the other pairs as well seem to be. So what that means is we've got all these pairs, CAD, AUD, and ZD, looking like it may have the downside type effect. USD is looking like it's picking up on the bullishness. Okay, we don't have dark blues yet, too many, but it is sort of building its momentum to become stronger. So we want to go on to the USD chart, USD crosses as well, and we want to look at what's going on with USD, how strong it is, so that we can actually predict the gold trend much better. Okay, so it's the same for JPY as well, looking strong like the USD. So USD JPY wouldn't be a good combination, mainly because both are sort of moving on the same type trend and direction, so wouldn't be good. Let's see, Gbpnzd seem to be picking up very strongly. So it looks like it's got this day, especially on the daily and weekly chart. Maybe a pair to look at as well is Gbpnzd, mainly because of the trend that we can see building up quite well, because NZD AUD is looking really weak. So that is, and then we see GBP picking up really well. So GBP, and we look into AUD, you can see it's all red, it's building up its redness as well. So we can see that the AUD and NZD is really moving to the downside, but we need to confirm this with the chart. Okay, very good. Now, let's also look at the action buys right here. Okay, right. Here, it's also giving us the hint of Gbpnzd building up quite well from the first two time frame, but we need these ones here filled in as well. But we will check on that one onto the chart itself. Okay, I think that's basically it. Let's move on to the chart. We'll take a look at gold first. We have gone through gold yesterday. We have got quite a number of lines already set up on the upside. It's moving to the downside here. It's hasn't really triggered this area right here for today, right? So it is moving down according to the news as well, with the US yield going stronger. As we can see, the US dollar is getting stronger as well. So hence the reason it is moving to the downside. Now, as it moves to the downside, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. One of the most obvious thing is that to the left, it's already got this it's moving into this bearish zone at this moment of time. So it could be a correction for now, but the trend for now and the um, the motivation for selling is mainly because of the strength in the dollar and the US yields side of it that is falling. So US dollars going up, and then the US dollars going up, and it's pulling the gold to the downside. So here on the 4-hour chart, we can see that it's in within a sell zone at this moment. Okay, let me just change that to oops. Okay, there you go. So 1806.02 at the top, and then the bottom of that is 1782.97. So you've got a bit of a selling type pressure here. There is a possibility for it to actually, come down, but come down to the 1782.97. But as of now, um, we need to be aware on the short term as well. There's all this support waiting as well. So it could anytime be finding a little bit of support as well. So you want to be aware of that, but it could also go through the support. It depends on how strong the downward movement is. Let me just change the color right there. Okay, it's not very clear. I'll just maintain that as yellow. Wait a second. Okay, it's clear. Okay, so here we have got the support right here. Also at all these levels. Yeah. Okay. So just yeah. So 1797 .68, 1795.26, maybe a slight, it might play a sideway as well in within this rate selling zone. So now, for example, it's heading downwards, as you can see, but we may have um, a little bit of support right there. So maybe you want to, as traders trading short term, just to watch out for this area that could actually be support. So here, if I just highlight this area right here, okay, so that's your support, possible support. So you could actually be going zigzag up, zigzag down, in within this sell zone, just to wait until there is anything that might trigger the gold price to the upside. But then if we look at the 4-hour chart right here, it looks like it's quite steady at the moment, with making a border at the very top and making all this area as a very strong resistance here. So, and then we see that there is the border in within this selling zone as well. So it's very likely for it to favor the downside move at this moment of time. So it matches with what's going on in the States at this moment of time, with the strength of the US dollar and also the situation that is um, factored by the US Treasury yield at the moment. So now it's more selling there. It's in this, it's following and referring to this mother candle right here as well. It's really powerful, going downwards. Now, once it actually breaks this area, if it does, at the moment, I think I would expect it to have a bit of support and then, create a bit of a sideway, because it's uncertain for gold at this moment of time. It's just trying to absorb all this news, strength built up of the US dollar. And if the US dollar and the US Treasury yield side of it is getting clearer in the strength in the States, then it would most probably be breaking break out from this area. If it does break out, then you have got more confirmation that you can actually sell from here, and then you aim right down here. So at this stage, you've got very limited area to take profit on the sell here. Maybe you can play the buy up and down on the sideway right here if you want to, and that is basically it. But in terms of trend, for it to come down, it needs to break out this 1797 to 1795 area right here as highlighted in black. Then once it goes downwards, I think a nice entry for the downside after it breaks out is 1794 or 1793 onwards to come down, and then you can look into taking profit 1785. So here it's a higher probability sell opportunity under the 1795 area. It's just that as of now, it looks like it wants to zigzag up and down. So we've got a support area right here. But after it breaks down and comes down much lower, we've got candles as well we can refer to, and that would actually be much better. If we go on to the daily chart, then we can actually see that the confirmation of it into the downside is stronger, mainly because of this mother candle right here. So you've got a bigger mother candle that you can actually see, a bearish mother candle you can see as you go on to higher time frame. So that higher time frame is always going to be very important data for you to know that you are entering a sell zone at this moment of time for gold. Because when we were at the 4 hour, we've got limited view, right? We've got limited view where we could see this, we could see this, which is good. But then as we go on to the daily chart, then we know that this area, the selling zone area, is actually much bigger because we have got this mother candle right here. As we go into the weekly chart, we can see that it's actually started much larger on the downside. So with the weekly chart and the monthly and the daily chart, it has already hinted us that there is a most likelihood of price of gold to actually fall. Okay, and then we receive the fundamental side of it only later on as well. So this is basically a very weird situation sometimes, whereby we can see that on the chart, but then the news comes later, sometimes vice versa. So that's how the market works. We cannot really say or 100% be very sure that which analysis impact which analysis. For me personally, it impacts one another, and it has to work both technical and fundamental together, because some traders, they believe that it's only technical and technical only matters, and some people believe fundamental and only fundamental matters. So for me personally, I see that the two has to work together, and one has different function than the other. The technical is mainly your window to the market. The fundamental is the fuel that would actually drive the trend to be more solid, or to not have it more solid on one side. So that's basically how I see it working. Okay, so this is basically it. So I see there's still a lot of power of the sell, and we still got some selling sort of environment right there, mainly driven by the fundamentals as well. And then we use the technicals to confirm. So the technicals are confirming that for you. And then when you look into shorter time frame for your trading style as well, if you are trading on the short term, then you can actually see as well what would actually be going on the short term 1 hour chart as well. For gold, you can see all the supports are here as well, as solid as it is in the other time frame as well. So here on the other time frame, you see the solidity of trend to the downside. So I am probably going to be waiting for the breakout as well. And for me personally, I wouldn't be riding something that is going sideways at this moment of time, but I know that I sort of see the possibility or probability of a support right here to be quite strong. But then in terms of the trading opportunity side of it, I prefer to ride the downtrend and to sell gold after it does actually pierce through all these levels here and go under 1794. So as soon as it goes under 1794, I think I will take that trade to sell and then to aim the take profit at 1785 or so here, right here. The other thing as well is to always look at levels like this. These are all support levels right here, quite strong, maybe a little bit lower. So here, 1785 exactly would be an area I would think to exit. So you trade on the sell under from 1794 onwards. You can enter at any price, either 1794 or under 1794, and then you want to take profit just to be on the safe side, 1785 or 1786. So that is the sell type opportunity that we can find, I think, for gold as of now, for a short to medium term. I think it's more short term at this moment of time because gold is still hasn't marinated the trend properly yet. As you can see, even on the 4-hour chart is trading in between all the three lines as well. Three lines are giving you hints of being sideways at the moment. So it's not sure. And we've got all these lines entangled as well, showing sideways, especially all the EMAs. Okay, so that is for gold. Any other questions for gold? Then we can take a look at all the GBP crosses as well. All right, all clear, good. Okay, so if that's clear, we'll move on to pending buy for which one? For gold. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can because we were waiting for the market open. So only that's why we don't plan the decision of buying and selling. We just in a weekend and all that, we usually look into the trend and the possibility. We don't look into the entries. So only when now we can actually talk about the entries, which is for the sell, because the sell trend has actually showed. Yeah. You set the buy, but you didn't enter the buy, right? It's more pending. Yeah. If you set it as a pending, then you're safe. So you can cancel that and then write the trend as of now, which is sell. Yeah, for gold we're talking about. Okay. Now, GBP JPY. GBP looks like it's been picking up in terms of its uptrend. It's got a very nice reversal candle, bullish candle right there. The overall trend right here, it looks to me the possibility of a downside, but I think it has already completed that downside area right there. It is going into a sort of bullishness at this moment of time, but not really very clear because it's got loads of, it's still respecting all this resistance at this moment of time. So we needed to burst out from this area, but it hasn't done that. So what I will do is, it has actually gone really close to the projected D point for the sell. This is a bearish geometric ABCD pattern. It went quite close, but then it went here at 150.64. So yeah, 150.60 was sort of one of the take profit area. So it was five pips short. So it did go to 150.65, but didn't really go 150.60. But that could actually be exited as soon as the traders can do that. They should actually exit it, especially when they see this reversal going up right there. So it was a news factor as well. Things are getting better in terms of how the UK is managing the variant and managing things. They are confident with things at the moment. So that's why it's looking quite positive overall for GBP. And this is basically why it's doing that. So what we can do is clear out all this for GBP JPY, start afresh and look at what the market is hinting us and giving us at this moment of time. So I'll go on to the monthly chart just to look at what's going on. Now, when we look at the monthly chart itself, it's got a limit somehow to go up much further, because we can see that very, very clearly. Okay, mainly it's very close, it's in within all these three lines. It's got this 200 EMA as a border. So in other words, it has got not much room to go up too much. So it may be positive for now, maybe for short term and medium term for the GBP versus the JPY, but then it has all these hints that it is actually in a bearish zone. So this here is very powerful because this zone is very strong, and that is basically because of this mother candle right here on a monthly chart. So if we look into the body, from body to body right here, you can see it's 2,300 plus pips worth on this body alone. Okay, so also it is battling at the moment on this area right here, which is another resistant area right here, right? And it has gone under the resistant area, giving us a double top in a way. Okay, this is double top, first top, second top. So the only hint I can get as well is for it to trade further downwards. And I think if the news factor changes to negative for GBP, um, then you will get a better opportunity in selling the GBP versus the JPY. So this is basically for GBP, JPY. Now, GBP as a whole, generically, maybe GBP versus a weaker pair would actually be doing very good with buying, but then it doesn't apply to all the GBP pairs. So it has its own personality here. For GBP JPY, I think it's got more selling opportunity than buying opportunity. Now, at this moment of time, we've got 152.98 that it is trading on. So I would think it's probably better for it to go lower to 152.90 or so. Then once it goes there, there is possibility that you can actually sell at 152.90. So 152.90, then you can take profit. In order for you to know where to take profit for the short term, medium term, then you have to move to the lower time frames, like what we have done as of yesterday's session. So then as it moves downwards, we can see support areas as well. And this is a support area to look at. It goes hand in hand with this area, is 151.95. You can take that area right there as your take profit as well. But then this is all based on higher time frames. So as we go into lower time frames, that take profit area will actually be less and less and less, so that it gives you as short-term traders the opportunity to trade it in stages, in smaller gaps as well. Okay, so 152.98 right there, you can aim at one, even 152.00 area. So 152.10, you can actually have that as well. That is more, much bigger. So, but make sure that your entry for sell should only be at 152.90 onwards. Okay, to go down. So if you want to be a bit more conservative and you want to look at the 152.80 area as a very strong what do you call that, psychological level as well, then you can enter at 152.70. So you can do a pending order to give you more space to look at and monitor what's going on. You can actually enter at 152.70. So when you look at 152.70, as it goes down, 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 you can actually take profit at 152.30. So that would give you 40 pips potential on the short-term side of it. So that would probably be an ideal price, and also giving you more space to monitor what is going on, and then take it in stages. So 152.70, you can enter and then take profit 152.30. Okay, that is for GBP JPY. That is for now. I think as we go on, we can then go on to as the trend solidifies, especially, then we get clearer picture and we can see how much more it would like to fall in terms of this downtrend that is going on at this moment of time, because it is battling some resistant area. This is the 50 EMA at the moment as well. So yes, it's got room to come down, mainly because of the power of the bearish mother candle to the left as well. So we can see that. All I can see as well is a very short term. I mean, if we look at the daily chart right now, as it falls, as the price fall, you have a very strong support here and here. This is supported by very bullish mother candle right here. So you would need to exit anyway here. So whatever you do, you're selling right now and you want to aim at bigger number of profit, maybe not 30 pips, not 20 pips, and you want more. If you want more, just make sure that you exit not more than this level right here. So 15210 would probably be your max at this stage, just so that you don't get stopped out, or you don't get all this reversal happening. So 15210 would probably be good for you right here as well, okay, because this is just to respect this area here that I presume to be quite strong on the upside of the market. Okay, so that is GBP/JPY. Any questions on GBP/JPY so far? All good? Yes, yes. I've just given you the pending order price. Correct. Yes, because we are in the sell zone now, in the red zone. So you can sell. You can sell anytime, but you can sell following the price that is based on the psychological level. Correct. 15270 sell, 15210 TP. Correct. But I've given you the price earlier on. 15270 sell. You can take profit at 15230 as well. That's 40 pips. Or you can take profit at 15210 further down as well. Yeah. So you've got two TPs. Either one you can actually choose. You can do both as well. Okay. All right. So that is for GBP/JPY. And as we go on to GBP/USD, we are looking at daily chart right now. And it's looking quite, I mean, on the news side of it, it looks to me like it's picking up. A lot of news are, positive to GBP. But as we look into the charts, it looks like it hasn't really marinated the trend very well yet. So let us go to the monthly chart, see what we can notice. What we can actually see is bias to the downside in some ways. So we want to be very careful with GBP. Maybe there will be some negative news coming up or so. We don't know that yet, because the bias at this moment of time is very much to the downside. There's a limit to the upside as well. So if we see the potential of a buy and the potential of GBP going up is actually quite far up, because you see all these bullish candles are actually quite high. It's here. Okay, so the buying would probably be taking place, or investors, traders would like to buy only later on at 1.47 and above and above. And this is really long term. This is how the banks would actually be looking at. So looking at what's going on right now in terms of the current price, it's trading at 1.3889. So 1.3889, very close to 3880 psychological level. As it goes lower than 80, we've got more chances to the downside. The upside has got loads of limit. Number one, it has a limit in this area because it's really close to, it's got a support area right here. Previous support could actually be resistance at this moment of time, but we've also got limit of it going up mainly because of this area right here. And then we've also got this area right here. All these are very strong resistant area. This resistant area coincides with that one right there. And then we are within a bearish zone right here as well. So then we've got this bearish candle right here. Okay. So we are in the bearish sort of territory as well, or selling territory from this mother candle that we can see. So that is your bearish type outlook for the GBP USD at this moment of time. So we're seeing the news for the short term for what's coming up. It's got some positive element to it, but the way I look at it, maybe, just maybe, I don't know this for sure, there may be a change of sentiments. The news might change to more negative. I think maybe something is brewing in the UK as well. There's a lot of uncertainty of traders and investors, as we can see into the chart at this moment of time. It's just not really matching with the positivity of the news at this moment of time, and maybe the positivity of the news is dying down a little bit, and then maybe new news that are a little bit more negative is maybe coming up. We don't know that for sure, so we need to monitor and look at price action as well, because the price as well right now is already at 38.80. It's already reaching that 38.80 psychological level. We need it to go under 38.80 to give us that downside bias. But from looking at how the candles are moving and various other things, it's finding a lot of resistance to go up. So that is only a sign that it has more biasness to the downside as opposed to the upside. And if we look at the weekly chart right here, as we move lower from a higher time frame to lower time frame, we can actually see that it's got some support right here, not very, very strong ones. We are on the weekly chart. We've got some stronger support lower as well. We've got this candle right here that we have seen in the weekly, in the monthly chart as well. And then we can see that this could be some potential support right here at the 37.95 area or 37.80 and above. So that could potentially be exiting at 37.90 or something like that if you were to sell. But then not just yet. We want to look at certain areas. That let's go and venture into the daily chart as well. Now, daily chart gives us, if you look to the left, we have got some support area that you need to really pay attention to, and that's available on the daily chart. So here, for example, as it comes lower, we have got this area to monitor, which is 38.37. So I would think at 38.50 area, 38.50. We've got any support right there? We do. We have one support right here at 38.50 exactly. So this here would actually be an area to watch out for. So if you are trading right now at 38.70, then you need to exit anyway at 38.60. That gives you only about 10 pips or so. So is it really worth it to, overly stress yourself at this moment of time to only grab that 10 pips? I think not necessary. So what we can actually do is monitor the market a little bit more, wait for the London Open and the US Open to really give you more hints of what to do with the GBP USD. Because if you just want to think about entry right now, it is going onto a sideways, not very, it's got some volatility, but it fits scalpers quite well at this moment of time. But for trend traders, you want to trade trending, and you want to ride it really well, like surfing. Then you need the trend to solidify first. At the moment, it's not solidifying as yet. So it's got all this sideways volatility that is very much fitting with scalpers, especially short-term or even anti-trend traders. Then it would be quite interesting to actually trade at this time. But you need to monitor it. You need to be in front of the screen and things like that. So as for me, I would prefer for it to give me the clarity of trend, and then I ride it with pending orders, so I don't actually need to monitor it too much. So here, even on the 4-hour chart, it's not giving us solid trend. You can see that most of it is actually within there. So I think it's not very clear, not really a good time to actually consider GBP USD as of now. But as it breaks out of certain levels, especially out of these three lines, in majority of the time frame, you can see it's trading inside the three lines, so it's very much uncertain. So once it breaks out, and then you've got clarity of trend of the three lines, going down, and then you've got all these candles under it, and then you check all the time frames as well, then we can say that it's a good time to ride that trend. But at this moment of time, it's a little bit not a good time to trade the GBP USD, also because it's probably battling with each other. There's GBP has a bit of strength, USD has a bit of strength, so both of them are having a bit of strength. That is what's causing this uncertainty at this moment of time for GBP USD. Okay, so that's for GBP USD. Let's take a look at the other pairs. GBP AUD, perhaps. Let's check GBP AUD, GBP CAP as well. Gbpnzd. So this is a different picture altogether on the daily chart for GBP AUD. Seem because we know from the news and from the heat map as well that AUD NZD is really weak. So this is giving us a better clarity of how it moves. It's not moving on a sideway. The three lines are touching each other, but then on the daily chart, it has a lot of clarity on higher highs and higher lows, and that is giving us hints of stronger and stronger uptrend or bullishness between the GBP GBP against the AUD. Okay, so right now, if we look at the price itself, we see it trading at 8603. So it has gone slightly above the 8600 psychological number. Let's look at higher time frame. Look at the big picture as well. And if I go into the monthly first, I can see there may be spaces for it to go up. There is also some resistant area. We've got some mother candle right here, this one here. We've got a bit of a limit here. So as it goes up, yes, we want to look at the area of resistance at 1.8780 area as well. So 8770, you need to exit. If you're buying now, for example, it's probably better to wait until it goes to 8610. So you can buy at 8610. So if you buy at 8610, then it's got quite good space as well, right? So 8770, you can actually exit. So I will put the exit price or resistance price right there. This is for the long term because we are looking at the monthly chart. So we need to go down to the time frame, lower time frame as well to get your short-term take profit area, okay, or exit area. So 8770, then go on to turn this to red. 8770 right there. So there you go. Looking at this area. So as we go onto the weekly chart, okay, you want to look at it going up. So 8610, pending order by 8610. There we go. Put this as blue. All right. So 8610 you buy, you've got a far reach TP. Basically, the whole area that I would be trading is between 8610 to 8770. Okay, but I want to break down this area into stages for the short-term traders as well, or intraday traders, including myself as well. So it's for the intraday trades that I would like. So you've got a total of about 160 pips worth. So we want to break that out, and so that we can trade little by little, 20, 30 pips or so. Okay, so then we go on to lower time frames. All right, let's see. We've got an area there. Let's see. Okay, got something here that we need to look out for. A resistant area. Okay, so 87, 31. I think 87.20 we need to look out for. So 87, maybe 87.40 to look out for the 50. So 87.40 area to exit. As we go lower, time frame, okay, we don't have much data as we go to the shorter time frame and go to the left. We don't have the data there. So then we wouldn't have data as well as we go further on the 1 hour chart. So we need to stick on to daily, weekly, and monthly so you can actually get all these ideas of where you can exit. So at this moment of time, we have got another area right here to highlight as well that shows 87, 86.97. So 86.80, 86.70 would actually be another area that we need to exit. Area right there. Got some here as well, but this is the most significant one. Okay, so we've got a rough guidance there. So you've got 86.10 to buy, 86.70 to exit, and that gives you 60 pips potential. Then you trade again at 86.90. You can re-enter your second trade later on at 86.90, but we wouldn't be looking at that yet at this moment of time. It's too soon, so probably best to just focus on some possible short-term trade or intraday trade first and look at this potential, whether or not we can hit the TP and trigger the buy entry and have more GBP buying opportunity. So you can buy at 86.10 and then exit at 86.70. As the price goes on, as you already hit TP at 60 pips right there, then we think of re-entering and then buying again. Okay, later on. All right, any other questions? Any other pairs? Gbpnzd, I think, yeah. Okay, Gbpnzd is giving us that very nice ABCD pattern, and it's going through really well as well. And I have laid out all the exit areas in red for Gbpnzd. This is a geometric ABCD pattern, bullish geometric ABCD pattern. It's going quite well. And basically your next, if you're entering right now, your next exit point is 9990. So 9990 is your TP. Okay, we'll take a look at, we were looking at Gbp Aud just now. No? Let's check. Oh, this thing is coming out. Gbp JPY we looked at. Gbp, this is Gbp Aud, the one that we have given the price 86.10 to enter, 86.70 to exit. Gbp Aud. This is Gbp Aud. Yeah, that's for Gbp Aud already covered. So now we are at Gbpnzd. So Gbpnzd, your exit price, if you're entering right now for a buy, then your exit price should be at 9990. Okay, 9990. It is within a bullish buying zone at this moment of time, right up to the 2.0340 area. You need to maximum you need to exit later on is at 2.0340. Okay, so I see a potential of it going upwards from now on to this area right here, another 400 plus pips. So that is on the long term weekly. So that's what we are breaking all these little trades based on these red lines right here. So all these red lines are your potential TP. So your closest TP right now is your 9990. We'll take that first, and once we manage to do that, then if you're trading now, let's say, and then you are aiming at, and you're having your TP, for example, at 9990, that is about 70 plus pips. So that's good. So at least you take that 70 pips first, and then we plan further onto the riding on that trend, because we've got a resistance coming as well. So we better take that and then plan the re-entry later on after it has gone over this resistance area. But right now you have got a short-term TP at 9990. Trade now, basically. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that clear? Everything okay so far? You got some trades to put? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you've got some trades right there, 100 plus pips to expect from 3 or 4 trades at this moment of time, including gold as well, to look at whether or not it will actually go down further so I can sell further on the gold. And what to monitor is the USD strength, the variant virus condition at this moment of time. And we don't really have too much. It's more data at the moment as well, not too much geopolitics at this stage, not yet. So then still okay so far on geopolitics, but more on economic data at this moment of time. Okay. All right. So if you guys have got no questions, then we will end the session for today, and we will meet each other again on Wednesday. Also, I'll be holding lots of other webinars as well, looking at other business opportunities. So I will be giving you guys all these links so that you can actually enter webinars with me based on those ones. Okay. All right, guys. With that, I want to end. I think I'll end the session, and wishing you all a happy geometric pipping week, profitable geometric pips. So with that, thank you for attending my webinar today, and we'll see you again on Wednesday. Okay, guys, take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.